right, good evening, everyone. It's 6:30. I'll call this meeting to order. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Councilman Piccarello.
Oh, wait, I haven't turned it on. Okay. Are we good?
Roll call, Councilman Piccarello.
Jason Vicarello, First Ward Councilman, present.
Colin O'Connell, First Ward Councilman, present.
Nancy Fuller, Second Ward Council, present.
Michael Hockenberry, Councilman at Large, present.
Dominic Sicalis, Mayor, present.
Jeffrey Rhodes, Third Ward Council, present.
Gerald Oney, Third Ward Councilman, present.
Sorry, listening to the mayor.
Jacqueline Dennison, Fourth Ward Council, present.
Stan Siegel, Fourth Ward Councilman, present.
William Frank, Corporation Council, present.
Okay. We have no public hearings on the agenda. We have no presentations. Public comment, 5-minute limit per person. We do have one signed up.
Do you have a topic?
You have a topic, Pete?
Yeah.
What is it? We need it.
City law and safety. City law and safety.
Lawn safety?
Law.
Oh, okay.
You want me to?
Is this even on?
It is on.
Yes,
Yes, Mayor, every time you say.
Do you want me to write it down, or you got it?
Okay. There's an old saying. For me. Sorry. There's an old saying. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So like 20 years ago, someone had told me that prisoners were being tortured in Guantanamo prison. I was like, that can't possibly be true. I haven't heard anything about it. I listened to the news. I didn't hear anything about it. And this person, we were on our way back from a poetry reading, and she claimed that she heard it on the BBC. And well, a bit later, I found out it was true. We were torturing people. And I bring this up because last meeting, I spoke of people being tortured in American custody. With ICE, which I hope our city is going to take some precautionary measures against. When I was mentioning this, I saw one of our public servants giving a big smile. I don't know if it was because of that, or I don't know. Perhaps because I mentioned that because I have a funny accent, I might be arrested. I mean, I have pretty light skin, so some people might find it absurd that I could be arrested. But there are light-skinned people being assaulted and put into prison by ICE. Theoretically, they're only supposed to be doing it to people they suspect of being in our country illegally. But in practice, they pretty much have free reign to assault and abduct whoever they want. That's just the way things play out, which is not really a surprise given human nature. And when you give people free reign to do whatever they want, there's going to be some individuals that are going to abuse that power. I might note that a person with my same skin color was, I witnessed this person being, about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, being assaulted by a police officer, apparently for no other reason than sitting down next to the officer at a festival and asking the officer's badge number. No laws being broken there, but again, when there's no accountability, you set up a pretty bad situation for set up a pretty bad situation. I should also note that maybe 5 years ago in a neighboring community, I was stopped, well, I was parked writing a poem in my car, and a police officer, actually a couple of officers came and said, "Oh, someone called in, they thought you might have been having a heart situation." And they used this excuse to pretty much harass me for a half hour. Of course, they asked me, "Are you from a port?" They saw my driver's license. They asked, "Did you always live in Port Jervis?" Yeah, the notion that people can't be targeted just because they have light skin, I found that absurd. One of the things I'm most concerned about is the elections in November. In third world countries, one of the ways to win elections is to terrify the voters into not going to the polls, the voters that you don't want going to the polls. In this situation, if someone has the foresight to look at the long game,
Your time is up.
for Port Jervis, okay, maybe next time.
Okay, moving on. We have no executive session on the agenda. Approval of minutes, January 12, 2026. Councilman Rhodes. Second by Councilman at-large Hockenberry. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Regular business, Code Committee, Councilman Vigorello.
Thank you, Mayor. The Code Committee met on February 4th here in the council chambers. At this point, I'd like to make a motion to accept the January building officials report.
Second by Councilman O'Connell. Any discussion on the report? All those in favor? All those opposed? The motion carries.
Make a motion to accept the January fire inspector's report.
Second. Second by Councilwoman Fuller. Any discussion on the fire inspector report? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And I have a motion to pass the following resolution. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis adopting an updated fee schedule with respect to City Code 280, Section 8. Whereas the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis is authorized to establish and amend fees charged by the city by resolution of the Common Council pursuant to City Code 28010. Whereas the Common Council finds it necessary and appropriate to update the existing fee schedule set forth in City Code 288 entitled Other Building, Zoning, and Planning Fees. Now therefore, be it hereby resolved that the fees set forth in the City Code Section 280-8 as specified in Exhibit A annexed here 2 and hereby adopted and made effective as of January 10th, 2026.
This should be February 10th,
February 10th, 2026.
Second.
Second by Councilman at-large Hockenberry. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to set a public hearing for February 23rd at 6:30 p.m. for local law number 1 of 2026, which would amend the bulk and use tables for the neighborhood mixed-use zones.
I think, Councilman, because that's a change to the zoning code, we're going to need to refer that to the county. So having the public hearing in February is not gonna be enough time.
Okay.
Also going to need to amend that motion to declare the common council as lead agency for seeker purposes. And declare the action as unlisted, so we can do the seeker review. So I would recommend, and also amend that motion to refer this matter to Orange County Planning, as well as the City Planning Board. So I would think that, given that time frame, second
March?
meeting in March
Okay.
would be best, Mayor, for that.
Okay, so I'd like to include in that motion all the above referenced from corporate counsel. And declare as lead agency and amend the motion to make the public hearing on March 23rd at 6:30.
Second.
Second by Councilman Oni. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Councilman, just for clarification, did you explain to the board that, and the public, that is going to be to allow accessory use apartments?
So basically, from just a quick explanation of this, when the city codes got transferred into the new codes, certain things were left out. And I think it was just in the transition from one to the other. And in the neighborhood mixed use, they had left out the terms of caretaker and accessory use apartment.
It was for funeral, what was it, it was for a couple of uses, right?
Yeah, it's for very limited uses, but
Funeral homes,
yeah.
and, there was another office, I think.
Yes.
It's in the local law that I
Yeah.
sent around.
Yes.
That's what this is for.
So that's basically what it's all about, is just updating the new city code with what was already existing.
Thank you.
Okay.
And that's all, the next code meeting will be on March 4th at 6:30 here in council chambers.
Okay. Police Committee.
All right, under Police Committee, we met on January 15th. I'd like to make a motion to accept the January monthly report.
Second by Councilwoman Fuller. Any discussion? All's in favor? All's opposed? Motion carries.
And I'd like to make motion to adopt the following resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis, authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the County of Orange for the 2026 Orange County Youth Bureau Grant Program.
Second by Councilman at Large Hockenberry. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All's opposed? Motion carries.
And the next Police Committee meeting will be February 24th at 6 p.m.
Okay. Planning, Zoning, Recreation, Councilman O'Connell.
Thank you, Mayor. Planning last met on January 20th. There was an approval for a 50-unit mixed-use project at 255, 257 East Main Street and 1028 South Maple Ave. The public hearing was set for 103 to 129 Jersey Ave and 12 to 14 Sussex Street. A cannabis dispensary at 77 Fowler Street was denied for proximity issues. And planning will next meet on Tuesday, February 17th at 7 p.m. in the council chambers. Zoning has not met this past month because nothing was on the agenda, and I will announce the next meeting at our next council meeting. Recreation update, the Dog Yard Church Street Park and the vehicle entrance to Point Peter are all closed for the winter. They will reopen this spring. The sleigh riding hill at West End Beach is set up and ready to be enjoyed. Hay bales are placed along the guardrail for protection. Please no skis, snowboards, sleds only. Open during daylight hours. The Youth Center Recreation Room is open Monday through Thursday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., and Friday, 2 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. It'll be closed February 16th through 20th for winter break. And when the school is closed due to winter, or due to weather, or if school is released early due to weather, the Recreation Department's annual Easter Candy Dash will be held at Church Street Park on Saturday, April 4th at 11 a.m. The Recreation Department is sponsoring a casino trip to Mohegan Sun in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania on Saturday, April 18th. The cost is $40 per person. Only 30 seats available on the charter bus. Must be 21 years or older. Contact the rec office at 845-858-4045 for more info or to sign up. This 32nd Delaware River Run will be held on Sunday, May 3rd, at Riverside Park at 9 a.m. Registration is now open. Visit runsignup.com and search Delaware River 5K Run and Walk. The third Jim Fajoon Jr. Midnight Madness Endurance Relay will be held in Elks Bronx Park Saturday, May 30th to Sunday, May 31st, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. For information on this event and to register, visit pjmidnightmadness.com. And the next Recreation Commission meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, February 11th at 6:15 p.m. in the Youth Center. And that is all I have, Mayor.
All right. Thank you, sir. Finance, Councilwoman Fuller.
Thank you, Mayor. The first thing I have is I would like to make a motion to accept the certificate of base percentages, current percentages, and current base proportions pursuant to Article 19 for the levy of taxes on the 2026 assessment roll as presented by our city assessor.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Fuller, second by Councilman O'Connell. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
The second item I have is to make a motion to execute the agreement with Capital Markets Advisors for the financial advisory services, and I make that a motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Fuller, second by Councilman Rhodes. Any discussion?
I reviewed the agreement and it is acceptable in form and content as it's written.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
We do have bills to be paid from the general fund, $1,748,891.54. From the water fund, $22,848.78. From the sewer fund, $286.27. From the capital fund, $4,239.46. Nothing from trust and agency and nothing from the IDA, for a grand total of $1,766,266.05. Some larger items to note from the general water and sewer funds: the Commissioner of Finance to reimburse Orange County taxes, $1,473,185.45. The Orange County Sanitary Landfill for $25,448.59. Appalachia de-icer for $18,815.74, and Orange and Rockland for $58,303.78. From the capital fund, we had Home Depot for $1,944.46, and MES Service Company for $2,295. I would like to make a motion to approve the bills.
Okay. Second.
Yes.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And the next finance meeting will be held on Wednesday, February 18th at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. And that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Fire and Emergency Management, Councilman Rhodes.
Thank you, Mayor. Interdepartment transfer for Sidney Quick Jr. from Delaware Engine Company #2 to Howard Wheat. I make that a motion.
Second that.
Second by Councilman Siegel. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Also, another request from the fire department, bylaw amendment, basically for Article 9, had to do with newly elected officers have up to 1 year to assume the training that, or mandated training that needs to be done. So that's gonna be an update. So I make that a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And the next, I have a resolution. Authorizing the sale of surplus property, whereas the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis previously declared certain equipment owned by the city and utilized by the Port Jervis Fire Department as surplus property pursuant to duly adopted resolution of the Common Council, whereas the chief of the department has received bids from neighboring fire department purchase of said for equipment, which sale may accomplish without the need of engaging in a public bidding process. Whereas the Common Council, upon recommendation of the fire chief, deems it appropriate to accept the bid received for the for said equipment set forth below in order to recoup funds to be used by the city fire department purposes. And now therefore be it resolved that the mayor, the fire chief, or their designee be authorized to dispose of the surplus equipment as followed. The equipment, which is a Bauer SCBA compressor for the amount of $2,000 to Washington Heights Fire District, and I make that a motion.
Second by Councilwoman Fuller. Any discussion on the surplus? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And the next fire emergency management meeting will be on February 19th due to Monday the 16th being a holiday at 6:30 here in the council chambers. And that's all I have, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you. IDA, ADA tourism. Councilman Owen.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing under IDA or ADA. Under tourism, Maria was not able to make it tonight. She sent me a lengthy text. So I always appreciate her timing on that. Tourism has not met since their last meeting. The tourism board is currently working on the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which will be held on Sunday, March 1st. Anyone interested in participating can email Tourism Chair Laura Meyer at floralaurapj@yahoo.com. The next scheduled meeting will be held this Wednesday, February 11th at 7 p.m. here in the council room. So there's several motions on events, but one item underneath. So the first one she has is the St. Patrick's Day Parade on March 1st, 26th, and I'd make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Second by Councilman Rhodes.
March 1st.
Second by Councilman Rhodes. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
And under a post discussion on that, this year's marshal is Barbara Drew.
Right.
She was born Barbara Hinckley, the great granddaughter of Irish immigrants. Barbara has been married to her husband Richard Dick Drew for 64 years. Together they have one daughter, Melissa, and one grandson, Kyle. Barbara dedicated 45 years of service to the Grand Union Grocery Company. She is a devoted member of St. Mary's Catholic Church and has been a member of the Catholic Daughters of the Americas, Court Madonna, number 144 for 59 years. Maria wants to make that announcement.
All right, congratulations, Barbara.
Good choice. Absolutely good choice. So now I knew I was gonna do that. Okay, so the first question the only question I have from here on in, well, first I'd like to make a motion to approve the Fabulous 50s for June 7th, 2026.
Second by Councilman Rhodes. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to move the Italian Festival for 8/8/26.
Second by Councilman at-large Hockenberry. Any discussion on the Italian Fest?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
the Delaware River Regatta for 8/22/26. Making a motion.
Second by Councilman Rhodes. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries.
So the only one that's not on this, I have a couple more, but this Blarney Pass, the last,
Oh, that's the St.
That's St.
Patrick's Day.
Patrick's Day.
Right.
that's the same thing. Okay, she's trying to throw me a curve there. All right, I'd like to make a motion for the Fall Foliage Festival, 9/27/26.
Second.
Second by Councilman O'Connell. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries.
And finally, a motion to approve Kindle Mark, 11/29/26.
Second by Councilman Rhodes. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion
We
carries.
just motioned away the whole calendar year.
Every weekend, right?
Yeah.
Straight on through December.
And I believe that's it. The only confusion was that name wasn't on her handwritten text, so.
No worries.
All right, that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you, sir. CDA, Councilwoman Dennison.
Thank you, Mayor. Port Jervis CDA last met on Wednesday, January 28th, 2026, in the Rec Center. Under Section 8, beginning Tuesday, March 3rd through Thursday, March 13th, 2026, the wait list will be open for 12 days. On March 3rd, the application will be available for download and completion from the city website and in paper at the city clerk's office and the Port Jervis Housing Authority during regular business hours. Only completed paper applications sent through and postmarked by the U.S. Postal Service beginning on March 3rd and ending on March 13th will be considered. All waitlist application details will be advertised and will accompany each application. MHE was awarded the engineering contract for the DRI Jersey Avenue project. Surveying the project area will be the next step. The firefighters SCBA equipment from the FEMA Assistance to Firefighter Grant of $533,087 was ordered and received, and training on the equipment is beginning. The Port Jervis Fire Department was also awarded a New York State Department of Homeland and Emergency Services $25,000 for a recruitment and retention grant to be used to purchase exercise equipment. The city has listed in a press release as having been awarded New York State Department of State funds for brownfield opportunity area studies. We are awaiting a contract. The next Port Jervis CDA meeting is scheduled for February 25th at 7 p.m. on the second floor of the Rec Center. I also have a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis to enter into an annual service contract with the Port Jervis Community Development Agency. In witness thereof, Dominic Sicalis has hereunto signed, that's the wrong part. Now therefore, let it be hereby resolved that the Common Council hereby authorizes and directs the mayor or his designee to effectuate the annual 2026 contract with the Port Jervis Community Development Agency for services provided outside grant sub-recipient services for a fee of $65,000 invoiced in monthly increments. Make that a motion.
Second by Councilman Lord Hockenberry. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries.
And I also have one more, Mayor. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis authorizing MHE Engineering to provide engineering services to the city for the New York State Housing Trust Fund Office of Community Renewals, Community Development Block Grant for Water Filtration Plant Improvement Project. Be it resolved that the Common Council directs the mayor or his designee to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the intent of this resolution, subject to review and approval of the Corporation Council. Make that a motion.
Second by Councilman Siegel. Any discussion?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Paul.
This is for the MHE contract for work on the water filtration plant. The contract is dated November 25th, 2024. The contract maximum amount is up to $295,000. This contract is substantially performed. They're doing the work. We just needed to, among other things, make sure we had our paperwork in order for the approval for the MHE contract. I reviewed it, I previously reviewed it, and the contract is in order. So, as far as I'm concerned, good to go on this resolution.
Okay. Any further?
Yes, I have one more resolution.
Mary, just take a vote. Stanley second. There's a second by Councilman Siegel. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
Now proceed with the last one. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis to extend the contract with Ramble America's Engineering Solutions to provide professional services in connection with the Resilient Investments through Support and Capital Risk Program, which was awarded to the city. Resolved that the Common Council hereby authorizes and directs the mayor or his designee to effectuate the contract extension with Ramble America's Engineering Solutions Incorporated to September 15th, 2026. Make that a motion, please.
Motion, we have a second. Second by Councilman Oni. Any discussion?
This one's good to go too.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion carries.
That's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Housing Veterans PJTV 23. Councilman Siegel.
Thank you, Mayor. Housing Authority last met on Tuesday, January 20th. The next meeting is scheduled for February 17th at 6 p.m. at Hillside Terrace. The next Senior Club meetings are February 11th and 25th at 1:30 at VFW 161. Veterans information, flu shots are available at the clinic. There's still time to get a flu shot. Just call the clinic, make an appointment, and the number is 845-856-5369. And this is pretty good. A Vietnam Veterans Day Welcome Home Celebration and Parade will be held on Sunday, March 29th. It starts at actually it doesn't start there. VFW Post 161, the Naval Ship, and other community organizations will host this Welcome Home celebration to honor Vietnam and Vietnam-era veterans with the recognition they deserve, but often did not receive upon returning home from service. The event will begin at 12 noon at Tri-State Naval Ship. Veterans and their families are welcomed with coffee, light refreshments, fellowship, followed by opening remarks and a guest speaker. At 1 p.m., the veterans will participate in a short ceremonial welcome home parade from the Naval Ship to Post 161. All are encouraged to attend. Also, we're looking for photos of veterans to be part of a PowerPoint presentation during the celebration. Anyone that has any photos can send them to me directly or can send them to the event coordinator, Mary Alice Kovach, and she's on Facebook, and her phone number is 845-754-4094. And you'll see posters like this around town. There's a lot of information here about the whole event. It's going to be on Facebook, and if you need any more information other than what you see here, you can contact me, or you can contact Mary Alice Kovach, again at 845-754-4094. And this should be a really good time, and I think the guys that served over there deserved a recognition when they came back. They did not get that for the most part. PJTV 23 update. PJ 23 is looking for volunteers to become members and learn television broadcasting. Experience is not necessary, so if you're real interested, you can come down here meeting nights, or you can call me or anybody that's on our Facebook page, and we would appreciate any assistance that people like to give us. And today's inspirational quote is, venture outside your comfort zone. The rewards are worth it. By that famous philosopher, Walt Disney. That's all I have, thank you.
A lot of Walt Disney.
Right, Walt Disney. He lived a long life, thank God, because he's gonna be dried up with quotes.
All right. Oh,
Got
man.
a lot of quotes to pull from.
Good. All set, Councilman Siegel?
Yes, thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you, sir. DPW, Councilman Lawrence Hockenberg.
Thank you, Mayor. Garbage and recycling on the week of February 9th went on its normal schedule. For the week of February 16th, President's Day is Monday, garbage recycling and cardboard pickup will be one day later. Cardboard pickup will be on February 20th. 2026 garbage schedule is available on the city website at www.portriversny.gov or by emailing the DPW office at dpwclerk@portriversny.gov. Instructions on how to receive nixles has been sent out with your last water billing. Please sign up for the nixle notifications, all the information on snow removal, parking on the streets, etc. All residents have received lead inventory letters at this time. If you have already complied with the letter, you may disregard it. If not, please follow the instructions and complete the survey. Snow removal will continue in all wards until the DPW gets some help from Mother Nature. Particularly Wednesday and Thursday, I believe they're gonna be down in the lower fourth ward doing snow removal on Wall Street, Front Street. I know it's a little narrow through there. There was a problem with the blower, so that'll be fixed and they will be down there
Thank you.
this week to get that cleaned up. I'd just like to thank the guys for doing an excellent job with the snow removal and through the storm. Most people did not park on the streets, there was a few, but however, with the initial notifications and the word we put out, it was so much easier and so much more efficient for the guys to plow the streets and do the snow removal that they did. They did do an excellent job in keeping the streets clear. They've been out, I mean, I'm sure you've heard them, they woke me up the other night. They've been out almost every night doing snow removal during the week and early morning, yes. So, I know it's inconvenient to some people to be woken up, but it's also inconvenient for them to be working 5 nights in a row to do it. So bear with them, they'll get it cleaned up. You can't have everything. You're either gonna get rid of the snow or you're gonna sleep good, one or the other, you know? That said, our next DPW meeting is scheduled for March the 2nd at 6:00 PM here in the council chambers. And that is all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, mayor's correspondence. At the previous meeting, I misspoke. I'd like to modify the clerk treasurer appointment length. I apparently said 2036, and I meant to say 2026. That will be still retro from January 26th, 26 to 27. And then, but I said 36, correct?
You said 37.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a resolution, so I'm just going on this. Hereby, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Rhodes,
So what's the end date?
it will be January 26, 2027. Councilman O'Connell, any discussion? This is for the clerk treasurer appointment. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. All right. Now on regular business. Dear Mayor Sigley, pursuant to the provisions of the city charter and the bylaws of the Port Jervis Fire Department, it is requested that the following members be appointed to a one-year term as fire police effective February 1st, 2026. Listed by company: Mahagama Cook and Ladder, Jeffrey D. Lewis, Howard Lee Engine Company Number 4, Randall Aber, Henry Dunn, Darrell Pilot, and our own Stanley Siegel. Neversink Engine Company Number 1, Adam Scopino Jr., Excelsior Engine Company Number 5, Vincent Atkinson, Richard Drew, Frank Fuller Jr., William Warner. Tri-States Hose Company Number 6, Andre Bell, William Conklin Jr., Jeffrey Martin, Edward Pavlich Sr., Edward Pavlich Jr., Robert Paget Sr., and Richard Opel. Total membership is 17. The department bylaws allow 36. I'll entertain a motion for those appointments.
So moved.
Councilman Siegel, a second by Councilman Rhodes. Any discussion on the fire police appointments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. I'll hereby entertain a motion. This is for the renewal of our Orange County Sales Tax Sharing Agreement. This will run through March 2029, and there is no changes with this tax sharing agreement. There's no deviation from what we are right now.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Rhodes, Councilman at Large Hockenberry. Will, would you like to add anything on to that, or are we good? Yeah, it's the same that we had, and it is dictated by our census numbers, which we have to renew the agreement in 2029, but the updated census numbers won't be out until 2030. So we'll have to wait for 2 more contracts to,
We're pretty much bound by
yeah.
the data in the census unless we try to approach other municipalities and ask them to voluntarily take a cut, which is just not gonna happen,
No.
regrettably.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis authorizing the mayor to execute an outside vendor contract for website technology services. Whereas the City of Port Jervis is in need of an updated municipal website that complies with all local, state, and federal laws and regulations, rules for accessibility, information, availability. And where Civic Plus has provided a proposal to create and maintain a new municipal website that meets such guidelines through ADA compliance and web accessibility. Now therefore, it is hereby resolved that the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis hereby authorizes the mayor or his designee to execute a contract with Civic Plus to furnish the city with a new municipal website and related services for the total sum of $38,273 in accordance with the proposal annexed hereto, along with other appropriate documents to officiate the intent of this resolution, all which should be subject to review and approval by Corporation Council.
So moved.
Councilman Large Hockenberry,
Second.
second by Councilman Riccarello. Any discussion?
It needs a couple of minor edits, but I will work those out with the clerk treasurer's office before you sign this thing.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. All right. So I'm going to read this letter off with regret.
I'm sorry. Are you gonna do the resolution for the license agreement to the community center?
I am. Do you have that though? I'm going to wait till the end to do it. I'm going to read this retirement letter off first.
Okay, here you go.
Thank you. That won't be read off though. All right, we're gonna, with regret, this letter is to inform the commission and the city council my impending retirement from my position of Civil Service Commission Secretary. This letter was dated January 7th, 2026. My apologies. The commission secretary position is very educational and fulfilling, serving civil servants in administration of each Port Jervis Civil Service jurisdictional departments. Over the past 27 years, I have learned so much regarding civil service law, administration, protocol, and changes that kept the system moving throughout the years. This was signed by Commission Secretary Cheryl Kent Bickham. I'll entertain a motion to accept the retirement letter with regret.
So moved.
Councilman Large Hockenberry, second by Councilman Siegel. Any discussion?
Wish her the best.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Enjoy your retirement, Cheryl. You deserve it. Okay. First application for public assembly permit. This is from the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. This is for the Jim Fagione Jr. Midnight Madness Endurance Relay. And this will be held on May 30th and 31st. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman O'Connell. We have a second from Councilman Rhodes. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Another event application. This is also from the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. This is for the Little Bellas Half Day Camp. This is a mountain bike mentoring half day camp for girls 9 through 11 on bikes. This will be held at the Watershed on July 13th through July 17th. Entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Councilman Large Hockenberry, Councilman Rhodes. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. application for the 2026 Farmers Market. This will be beginning early this year. This will be beginning on May 9th, 2026. We do have their updated certificate of liability insurance. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Councilwoman Fuller, second by Councilman Siegel. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Another application from the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. This is for the Stone Challenge Adventure Series. This will be held at the Elks Rocks Park and the entire watershed. This will be held on September 26th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Lawrence Hockenberry, second by Councilman Oni. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis, designation of the officers for the purposes of New York State Homes and Community Renewal. Whereas the City of Port Jervis Common Council of the City of Port Jervis hereby authorizes the persons designated by position as responsible for the following offices. Number one, Fair Housing Officer. This would be the Port Jervis Community Development Agency Executive Director Valerie Majinski. NWBE and Section 3 Coordinator. This is City Clerk Treasurer Stacy Hoskin. ADA Grievance Coordinator, Port Jervis City Clerk Treasurer Stacy Hoskin. Labor Standards Compliant Officer, Port Jervis Department of Public Works Director Steve Duryea. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Vick, second by Councilman Rhodes. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Lastly, a resolution. This is a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis authorizing the mayor to execute a revocable license agreement with respect to the City Community Center. Whereas the City of Port Jervis wishes to enter into a certain revocable license agreement with the Actors Community Theater Group Incorporated to use a portion of the City Community Center located at 134 Pike Street for the purposes of auditions, rehearsals, performance, state storage of theatrical equipment, and other incidental theatrical uses. And now therefore it is hereby resolved that the Common Council of the City of Port Jervis hereby authorizes the mayor or his designee to execute and deliver a revocable license agreement between the city and the Actors Community Theater Group for the use of a portion of the City Community Center as set forth in the accompanying agreement, the final form of the said licensing agreement being acceptable in form and content to the City Corporation Council. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second. Councilman Lawrence Hockenberry, second by Councilman Vicarello. Any discussion?
And I'm assuming that John's fully aware of the whole situation, right?
Myself, John, and Corporation Counsel Frank met on this last week or 2 weeks ago and drew up the agreement. The ACT is a very great organization. They are expanding, they're adding more performances, and it was decided that we had to put an agreement into place because this is more than 2 or 3 event applications. This is a whole schedule now, and it was necessary for us to move forward with doing this. So,
And they're also storing their set equipment.
yeah.
And other items up on the 3rd floor of the community center. I drafted the agreement, I sent it to John. He had one change in the payment schedule that he asked for. Instead of making it monthly, to make it quarterly, to be easier on the theater group. So we made that change, and the mayor reviewed the agreement with us, and I think we're in good shape. They've agreed to it, they understand, because in some months, they're gonna be, having rehearsals like 8 of the days of the month in the community center, so we really needed to get their insurance and get it squared away.
Very good. Thank you.
Got it. Any further? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Yep. Okay. Lastly, my office, and I'm sure a few council persons here have been listening to the community, and we've been taking a few emails, phone calls, talking in person. We understand the mail delivery in the 3rd ward is not good. And every day it seems that we're taking more and more complaints over that in regards to your water bill. I do want to let the community know that we are discussing our options and what to do next with in regards to the post office. So we will let the community know, and everybody that has submitted letters or inquiries through my office and the other council persons. But we are looking into that, rest assured. So with that, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Thank you. Motion.
Second. Councilman Rhodes, second by Councilman Laura Hockenberry. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.